Here it is. DJI have released the brand new firmware update for the Mavic 3, which includes the following features: active track, master shots, hyper-lapse, raw photo only, as well as improving and upgrading some of the features like the obstacle avoidance sensor performance and fixing some of the minor bug issues. Now in this video I'm going to be sharing my experience with using some of these features as well as what to expect. Now I've literally only just downloaded it, so I only had one battery worth of flight time, but I wanted to share it with you as quickly as possible so you could download it straight away and get started. Right, let's start with active track. This is the main thing that I wanted to see in this drone, and I'm so excited that it's here. A few really good points, and there's a couple of bad points I want to talk about as well. Good points first. There's 3 settings. You've got spotlight, POI, which is I think is point of interest, and then active track, and I'm going to explain them all. Spotlight is basically where the drone stays where it is in the air, but it actually tracks the subject, so the camera and the gimbal and the drone will move around to follow it, but it won't move forwards and backwards and left and right, etc., if that makes sense. Active track, that basically just tracks the subject wherever it is, the drone will follow. It's just great, it's amazing. And point of interest is where it tracks the subject, but you can choose for the drone to move or do a circle around that subject as it's moving along, so you can get some really interesting perspectives. I love this, it's one of my favourite sort of, whatever, what do you call it? Favourite, it's a cool looking shot. Now I've got 3 main little issues with this upgrade, and hopefully in future updates they'll improve it, but for now we'll make do. My first one, and I guess the biggest issue that I have with it, is active track doesn't work in D-Log. Now I'm a little bit disappointed with this, but as I say, hopefully they'll update this in future firmware updates. Luckily, because the standard picture profile is okay, it's usable for most of the things that I do, I can get away with it for the meantime. You got to make sure that you're fairly close to the subject so that the drone can identify what it is you want to track. Unless you're really close, people are quite difficult to distinguish, especially if you're high up, depending on what backdrop you've got. For example, I'm wearing a green coat in this and standing in green grass, and I had it quite high up, so it didn't lock on straight away. So I had to bring the drone quite close to me. Once it does lock on, it's really good at staying focused on it, but obviously because I was in kind of a tree area, being that low is quite dangerous. I didn't want to crash into anything, so that's another reason why I didn't test this out fully. In open areas, it's fine. Things like cars are a lot easier to track. And then my third point was it's a little bit fiddly to use. It wasn't as intuitive as in the Mavic 2 Pro that I used to use. That was super easy, and now you have to kind of press and hold, and then it gives you these different options, but then you click on them and then that disappears and it kept going back onto something else. Now it's worth pointing out here that I had a pre-release version before it's actually come out, so maybe that was just an issue with mine, and maybe your update will be a little bit maybe your update will be a little bit smoother than mine and work a little bit more seamlessly, hopefully so. Now I didn't get a chance to play with the hyperlapse mode because, as I say, I didn't have this for long before I had to make this video, so if you try it out, please let me know in the comments. I want to hear what it's like. I've actually got a first impressions video about this drone, so if you want to see that, click this card, but make sure you subscribe and hit the bell because I've got another video showing just how good this image quality is. That's coming next week, so don't miss it. What I want to know is, what is the feature you've been looking forward to the most in this update? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, have a great week, and see you in the next one.